I do think that the Ethereum blockchain is going to have a higher market cap than Bitcoin in the next bull run. I do.
Today, I interview engineer, CEO, as well as DeFi enthusiast Giorgi on just how big Ethereum could be this decade. We discuss how DeFi gets adopted, biggest challenges ahead for Ethereum, as well as other L1s in the space. But first, Giorgi, what makes you so passionate about DeFi and Ethereum specifically?
I love Ethereum. I think it's, it paved the way to DeFi. It's just that it paved the way to everything that's decentralization at this point in time. So yeah, without a doubt.
And in general, what makes you so passionate about DeFi?
So a lot of people will answer that question as far say the non-custodial nature of being able to hold your assets, although that is a huge point, and I love that about DeFi. For me, and I have a tech background, I went to school for computer science. For me, it's really about the technology itself and the automation that decentralized finance affords. When the liquidity on the blockchain is living there, basically, it's all there, and being able to, their contracts can tap into that and automate, like flash loans, for example. They can grab money from different liquidity pools and execute multiple transactions in a single transaction, single block. Those type of things are actually what gets me excited, because I see a future in just traditional finance where this type of concept can move into the capital markets, or mainly capital markets, and completely change the game over there.
For sure. If you believe that the future is only getting more digital, then smart contracts to me seems like one of the aspects of crypto that's a no-brainer that'll be integrated into every big industry. For Ethereum specifically, how big could Ethereum get 10 years from now?
I think that it's going to be, my personal opinion, I think it's going to be the top project in the world at that point. I think it's going to take over. And if you like Bitcoin, I'm not hating on it. I think Bitcoin served its purpose. But I think Ethereum has just so much utility and so much liquidity on the blockchain that it's unstoppable. It would have to take a very drastic problem to eliminate Ethereum out of the equation of being the number one blockchain in the world.
And Ethereum, to me, is the most, out of the altcoins, the most decentralized, the most censorship resistant. To spit some facts at you, right now, there are about 200 million people that invest and trade cryptocurrencies. From what I see, about 2% actually use DeFi protocols. So what needs to happen for ETH to get that big and people stay on the most decentralized chain?
I think the user experience needs to improve. So what we saw, I want to say it was 2 years ago, when Binance Chain sprung up, the fees at the time were like $200-$300 or something to swap, or to even execute even the simplest smart contract transaction. Although that's behind us now, Binance Chain came in and stole probably a significant portion of the audience because it found a niche, and that was cheap fees. And right now, there's still those type of user experience problems within on the Ethereum blockchain. And once those are fixed and it's more streamlined, that's when we're going to see more mass adoption, like the ERC 4337 that just recently came out. I think it has a huge future ahead of it. I think smart contract wallets are probably, without a doubt, the future of DeFi. But the problem right now is the smart contract wallet is much more expensive on the Ethereum network than a regular wallet. And without that being solved, people are not going to pay 5-6 times a regular transaction, 5-6 times the fee of a regular wallet versus a smart contract wallet, even though a smart contract wallet has a lot more functionalities to it. So in general, as soon as those kinks are ironed out, and hopefully quicker than the previous upgrade that we saw, hopefully quicker than before, we're going to see Ethereum really shine. And I have no doubt that the general audience and potentially even the capital markets will start to adopt the Ethereum blockchain.
And from what we're seeing, these other competing L1s, they're either already EVM compatible or becoming compatible with Ethereum. Assuming ETH stays number one, what are 3 other L1s that you see value in that will work with it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Most of the blockchains that I pay attention to are actually on the EVM side. Obviously, Bitcoin is going to be here forever. There's no doubt about that. But other than Bitcoin, I've really just been paying attention to like Polygon, Avalanche, Arbitrum. I know they're not L1s, but I think EVM has created such a huge foothold that it's impossible to take over. Some blockchains have tried. They've tried a lot, but there's just so much architecture and infrastructure that's been built up on EVMs that I just don't see another L1 taking hold, to be honest.
What could go wrong for Ethereum? You're in the trenches, you're building on the ETH blockchain. What would have to go wrong for Ethereum to be dethroned?
A major core issue within the EVM itself. That and obviously the upgrades. The upgrades are probably the most nerve-wracking thing that can happen. We develop on the blockchain, we develop in Solidity and Web3, and there's just so many edge cases to take into account. Someone will think of a way to abuse your program in ways that you would have never imagined. And this is even more true for Solidity and the Ethereum blockchain. So during those upgrades, yeah, I know they spend a lot of time, a lot of money testing and debugging and fixing. But if something were to go wrong during those upgrades, I think it would just destroy the entire chain permanently.
I want to ask you a fun question. This is just a question that I have with my friends. Half the fun of being in crypto is, speculating on, how big could Bitcoin or Ethereum be. So let's say top of the next bull run, Bitcoin goes over 100K. What's your price prediction for ETH?
So as I mentioned in our previous video, we are going public, so I can't be very specific about it.
Playing by the rules.
I do think that the Ethereum blockchain is going to have a higher market cap than Bitcoin in the next bull run. I do. Now, I don't know exactly how much and where it will be, but I do think that Ethereum in the next bull run will offset Bitcoin permanently, hopefully without any issues.
The flippening.
Yes.
I can't wait. We'll see. Giorgi, final thoughts on Ethereum in general.
Just that I'm extremely bullish. I think a lot of people out there are extremely bullish about it. I think it has the ability to change the entire financial industry. So we're still early in that process. And I think over the next 5-10 years, once the user experience gets better, the onboarding process gets better, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Also, if you could, at these conferences that you go to, you see Vitalik, you could say one thing to Vitalik. What would that be? I'd
probably ask him about that picture.
The one with him and a fan?
Is it a fan in there?
The one with him and the girl?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. We're all wondering about that picture. Awesome, man. I'll let you go. I appreciate you taking the time with me. Where can my audience find you?
So we're in Discord. They can definitely get on our Discord. You can send us an email to support@getaurox.com or even visit our website, getaurox.com. I'm basically online 24/7. So feel free to reach out on any of those places.